I scored 72 points in FPL this week, and I'm looking to use my triple captain in 2 weeks' time. There's also a situation where I sell Erling Haaland in the next few weeks to fund some moves. We're going to cover all of that and more in today's transfer plans video, so let's get into this. Welcome back to the FPL Mugs YouTube channel and welcome to today's transfer plans video. If you're brand new around here, make sure you click that subscribe button and don't forget to like the video as well. It's one of the best ways to support the channel. It'll take you 2 seconds to do. Let's aim 15 likes. We're straight into how we did in game week 24 though, where we had, of course, again, a massive green arrow. 72 points in total. I think that's back-to-back weeks where we've had a massive rank gain. In the last 8 weeks, I think we've had 7 green arrows. Just outstanding. So happy with how I'm doing in FPL right now. And of course, it's all thanks to the lads on the screen here. We'll start off with the triple Arsenal defence though. I feel as though we're at a point now in FPL where the triple Arsenal defence is probably the meta move for Arsenal assets right now. Saka injured. Doesn't seem like he's doing very well, especially in the last few weeks, but now doesn't seem like an option at all. Declan Rice, I think people have started to realise he's one of those players that, could blank for a few weeks and then come up with a massive haul. He's not exactly my favourite FPL asset, and I've said that most of the season in all honesty, but coming into a double, perhaps he could be, become that Saka spot where it would be, Timber, Gabriel and Rice for the triple up if they do get the double. By the way, guys, if you are curious about who's going to get the double in game week 26, the match is tomorrow at 8 o'clock between Chelsea and Arsenal. Whoever wins that fixture will get the double in game week 26. I do think it will be Arsenal, and that's how I've kind of set up my team in preparation for. But there is a chance it could be Chelsea, and obviously Chelsea assets would then be bought by a lot of people. Another defender we should talk about, though, is Virgil van Dijk this week. I mean, the goal they conceded, I feel as though that's so avoidable. Kirkes, for me, didn't do his job properly. Why is he going on the floor? You could see Virgil's visibly angry with them. I think he's not been the greatest signing. Hopefully he comes good in the next few seasons for them, but Kirkes has been absolutely atrocious. So yeah, defensive contributions is all Van Dijk got for the fixture, unfortunately. But, still, I'll absolutely take that. 4 points from a defender rather than 2. Little things like that do add up, I suppose. We go into the midfield, though, where a lot of the points were scored, in all honesty. I mean, Enzo Fernandez, I've had him for a number of weeks now, longer than most people. And he's been really, really great. I think the slight downside of the game week is Palmer's back. He does look ready to go, and he will be on the penalties. He'll be taking some of the set pieces, although it did look like Palmer and Enzo were sharing and maybe look like even taking turns for free kicks, which I thought was quite funny. Palmer turned to Enzo at one point and said, "Is this one you?" So yeah, that's quite good about owning Enzo, but I would like sort of Enzo to be more advanced taking penalties, but Palmer is a great asset. It seems if he can stay fit, we'll have to keep an eye on that. And of course, whether they double in 26. Bruno Fernandes, I mean, if you watch the podcast that me and Sam Harwood, the founder of Night Managers, did last game week, and we spoke about Bruno Fernandes pretty much the entire podcast here and there, just absolutely glazing him and saying he's the best FPL asset in the entire game. And of course, he was the best captain for game week 24, we also mentioned. So if you watched that podcast, you probably already knew that I do think this guy is the best FPL asset in the game right now. I think if you don't have Bruno Fernandes in your team, get him. I think now, rather than in a few weeks' time, is the way you should be going. He's a captaincy option pretty much every single game week, and having these weeks where we think that Bruno Fernandes could outscore the likes of an Erling Haaland and be the best captaincy option, it does give you huge rank gain because you're going against such a highly captain player in Erling Haaland. So happy that turned out how it did, and of course, shout out Night Managers for that prediction list we had on the podcast last Tuesday. We move across also to Dominic Soboslai, who had 5 points this week. it's one of those ones with Szoboszlai where we thought he would get the assist for the Konate goal, but apparently there was 2 defensive touches before Konate sort of bundled it in, you could say. I have said most of the season, I really don't like the new assist rules. I think they're absolutely terrible. For me, it's just a way they're trying to cram points into people's teams so they can, get more excited about FPL and not have as many blanks. It just is unclear and doesn't make sense a lot of times. Extremely subjective, I would say, as well. So it's not that I'm like fuming that Szoboszlai hasn't got an assist. I've said all season, even when my players have gotten assists, I don't like that rule. I think it should be taken out for the next season, in all honesty. On a bit of more of a positive note, though, Elliot Anderson, a transfer I made this week, 7 points, 3 bonus, 2 defensive contributions, absolute monster. That was a Night Manager's approved move as well this week, to Johnny Reinders, to an Elliot Anderson. If you do want to check out the Night Manager's algorithm and get their advice every single week for your team, check out the Night Manager's link in the description and use code FPLMOGS for 2 free weeks of their middle tier service. Definitely worth checking out, guys. I've had loads of green arrows in the past few weeks using some of their suggestions. We come to the forward line, though, and this is where things really break down. Evan Nielsen 2, Haaland 5, Thiago 2. Haaland, for me, the assist, I think we were lucky to get it in any case. It was sort of a really short pass and Jerky did all the work. But for those who captained Haaland, I'm sure that's an appreciated little bonus he got for the game week. He's been blanking so much recently and potentially he could be a sell in the next few weeks for my team. But that's enough rambling about game week 24. Let's move to game week 25 now and see how I'm going to line up. I think there's a great deal of strength within this side for game week 25, and I am really excited for the game week. We have made a change from, of course, last game week, where Virgil van Dijk has found his way first on the bench, and Anderson has been brought in the side with that Everton at home fixture. There is a conversation with the bench order here. Is Tavernier going to be back? Could Rodon be ahead of Virgil van Dijk that week? We will talk about that, of course, later through the week when we get that bit of news, but Triple Arsenal defence, Sunderland at home, brilliant. We spoke about Anderson's fixture, Everton at home. That's a pretty good fixture, I would say, for Anderson, especially after a really disappointing loss at Old Trafford. Hopefully aiming to really keep their momentum going because they have been really good in the Premier League so far, Fulham. Massive hats off to them. Anderson, of course, a really great cheap asset in FPL, in my opinion, as well. Enzo, Wolves away from home, would most likely be the vice captain this week. I don't think it would fall on Szoboszlai because of how hard the fixture is against Man City, but I do like the fact it's at home. Not so much the fact that Wolves, City are travelling to Wolves for this fixture, but I don't think it matters too much because Bruno Fernandes is the captain, 90-minute man, plays every single week, so many routes to points. I think he's the best FPL player in the game right now and has been for a while. He's my captain against Spurs at home. Of course, we've seen Spurs' performance against Man City. And do you know what? There were glimpses of Spurs in there where I thought maybe they could do something against United with how open they are at sometimes. But I think it'll just be a basketball game. In all honesty, this United and Spurs fixture, I think it'll just be one of those games. And I'm super excited for that match and to watch Bruno Fernandes do his thing. We go to Szoboszlai, Manchester City, at home. I think this is actually quite a good opportunity for Szoboszlai this week because there are a few ways you could look at it. Possibly playing right back. That means defensive contributions are going to be quite high, especially against the likes of a Doku or a Semenyo. Most likely Semenyo, if I'm thinking about it though. So that could be really good. Another thing that Liverpool could do is actually just play Endo at right back. If they did that, which I don't think they're going to do, Szoboszlai could play more advanced in that 10 role, but I think that's something that would happen not within this fixture, but within fixtures in the future. I can see that definitely happen where Endo plays in some of the easier fixtures, you could say, at right back. Szoboszlai sort of as that 10, Wirtz maybe on the left, Salah on the right, and up front we see Ekitike or Cody Gakpo. So looking forward to that in the future with Szoboszlai. I don't think it'll happen this week. I think again you'll probably be a right back, but that's quite good for defensive contributions. Speaking about that, Elliot Anderson, I mean, why is he so good at it? I don't know. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Looking forward to hopefully some DEFCONs against Leeds away. It's one of those ones where it's a good fixture, so maybe we can get an assist, an attack and return of a goal perhaps within the game. We'll see how they get on. It is hard to go to Leeds away. Leeds to just get battered by Arsenal 4-0. I don't think Forest can do the same amount of damage, but maybe they can go ahead and win that game. And hopefully Elliot Anderson is a big part of that. The forward line, Evan Nilsson, Aston Villa at home. I think if it was away, I would be quite worried about the fixture, but at home, I do quite like them for it. HAALAND, Liverpool away. It's a fixture where the counter should be on quite frequently. Whether City have the ability to find HAALAND in those transitional moments is something we'll have to wait and see. In the last few weeks, I think that's been one of their biggest problems. There's not been a lot of long balls going to HAALAND. There's not a lot of through balls putting him through. He's making the runs, he always is. His off-the-ball intelligence is absolutely brilliant, but they're just not finding him. And I think the problem with HAALAND now is, the goals are very few and far between. I mean, the attack and assist he got game week 24 was quite lucky. It was a pass pretty much at the halfway line to Cherky, and he just went with it. So, yeah, maybe he's on the sell list. We'll have a little look at that in just a second. Thiago Newcastle away, not a great fixture, but long-term, Thiago is one of the best strikers you can own, I think. So, yeah, we'll have a quick transition now to the software, and we'll have a look at how we're preparing for the double, triple captains, etc. So let's have a little look. Now we're going to take a quick look at some of the possible moves I could make going into the next few weeks of FPL. We've kind of already discussed that this week most likely doesn't need a move for my squad. The team actually looks okay. The only move would be benching Virgil van Dijk for his fixture of Man City at home. I think Anderson does have the better fixture there, and of course he's at home as well. Rodon could maybe fall to first on the bench, but right now this is how Game Week 25 looks. Enzo Fernandez would probably be vice in this week as well. But moving to 26, this is where the triple captain would come into play. Gabriel, captain, vice Timber, triple captain activated. Happy days. I think this, for me, could be the time in the season where I use the chip. Now, we will know who fully doubles between Arsenal and Chelsea tomorrow. And that being said, there is a route in this particular week where instead of Arsenal doubling, we have Chelsea doubling. And in the case that happens, I genuinely think I would sell Erling Haaland. Now, it seems a bit of a rash move, but it could be a move that I make or consider at least. We'll cover that just now. So Haaland for me would obviously be gone. Maybe João Pedro could come in. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, we'd have to be sold to fund the move, but it would be Tavernier on the bench here who would go to Palmer. Of course, Palmer would start over Thiago, and then we would need to sell Erling Haaland here to fund the move to someone else. João Pedro seems the obvious one if Chelsea doubled here. You obviously have so much money spare still, and if Chelsea doubled, that would be the set of moves there. There also is a case, even if Chelsea don't double, an Arsenal double, which is the most likely course this week, obviously with tomorrow's fixture, Haaland would go anyway. And not Mateus Mane. It might be Mateus Mane, actually. I just know him as Mane. He could come in, and of course, then I would still most likely move to Cole Palmer for the week, benching Thiago against Arsenal at home, and having a team like this. I think selling Haaland is in my mind, and that could be a genuine possibility to fund the Cole Palmer move for game week 26. More than likely going to be the case if it is a double for Chelsea, that would be the move. But it could be the move anyway if Arsenal double. And the reason for this is because
if we skip a few weeks here, of course, the team looks really good. You would of course put Thiago back in the mix for fixtures like this. Virgil comes into a really great fixture run as well. The team just looks brilliant. Captaincy option differential on Palmer for that week, fantastic. It's this week here where Chelsea fixtures start to tear off a bit, and the move would most likely be to Mohamed Salah. I really like the look of Salah back from AFCON now. I think he's actually, much better than he was just before he went. We'll see how that turns out in the next few weeks, but that could be a move I consider without Erling Haaland, of course, in the side. Selling Enzo Fernandez to move to hopefully like a Cunha or an Mbeumo if I have some spare money for the game week. Hopefully price rises could help me out with this. Benching the likes of an Anderson that week. A lot of red in that team, I've just noticed. But yeah, there's a few things coming up in the next few game weeks where I'm considering to sell Erling Haaland. I think the most likely outcome for the next few weeks, though, is to just roll a few transfers, enjoy the double in 26 with triple captain, just keep a hold of Erling Haaland. I mean, there are some good fixtures coming up. There's Leeds, there's Forest. Like, I think at the moment we can't make any rash decisions on Erling Haaland right now. I would love to get rid of him because he's been absolutely terrible and transition into someone more fun like a Palmer. But with Saka's injury, I don't feel like it's necessary to sell Haaland right now. But there is a strong consideration to be selling him in my FPL team in the next few weeks. Let me know what you guys think. Have I gone absolutely mental with Erling Haaland and selling him? Please let me know in the comments. But yeah, also would really be interested in hearing your moves for game week 25 in the comments as well. Make sure you comment them right now. Tomorrow morning, you can expect a wildcard draft video upload, so make sure you're looking out for that. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, though, make sure you've dropped a like. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click subscribe for future FPL content and FPL streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.